Mayor Mike O'Brien.
Good afternoon.
How you doing?
I'm doing great.
Good.
Thanks for having me.
No problem. What are you drinking?
I am drinking a Grimross Cheval d'Or, one of the great craft brews made here right in Fredericton. 15 craft brewers and cideries in the city.
Wow.
We are known as the Seattle of the East Coast. Yeah.
I did not know there was that many.
Yeah, 15 of them.
That's really cool.
It is.
Can I ask you a couple questions?
You go ahead.
So, what was it like taking over from somebody else's tenure?
Oh, look, it's I was a councillor for 15 years before I ran for mayor, and Mayor Brad was there for 24 years as mayor, you know, with a break in the middle. Tough shoes to fill, but that's all right. I had a lot of training, and he was a good mentor for me as well. So well, it wasn't that big a transition. I knew what I was getting into.
Right.
Yeah.
So, can you share a little bit about your background with us?
Well, born in Campbellton, moved here when I was a little kid in short pants, and ended up taking engineering at UNB, graduated, started my career with General Motors in Ontario, met my wife there in St. Catharines, Ontario, moved to Ottawa with a consulting firm, back to New Brunswick with a big food processing company, and then I was with the New Brunswick Liquor Corporation for years. I retired as acting president of the Liquor Corporation.
Okay.
So that's my professional career, mechanical engineer, UNB.
I see the ring.
Yeah, and then I, like I say, got into municipal politics 2001, and this is my 5th term. So.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow, that's great. So, what does a typical day look like for you?
I don't have one. I don't have a typical day. I'd say some weeks 60-hour weeks. Most weeks are 40 to 50 hours.
Yeah.
About a third of my job, I say, is administrative. City Hall, meeting with staffs, working contracts, working on files. A third of it is working with provincial, federal government, businesses on big files, and a third of it is public relations, right? Getting out around the community. Tonight I've got to get to a community meeting on a big park that's being developed. I also got to go to somebody's 90th birthday party, you know,
Gotta come to the Abbey to do Pints
the Pints of the Pros. So that's how it kind of breaks down. But as far as what happens every day, I get in and my assistant populates my calendar. And she gets calls during the night,
She's great.
and she just populates it, and away we go. She keeps me on track.
Yeah. So, our city, what do you think the best thing about Fredericton is, in your opinion?
Man. Look, we are blessed to live here, right? And people, sometimes you have to travel to come back and realize it or be away. But it's the people. It's the people. The people have been so good to me, right? And they know me. Sure, I get kicked in the backside. I'm the mayor, right? I'm the target for stuff. But people have been good to me, and people look after each other. People care about each other. I think most cities can say that. But, you know, we have it here in spades, and it's just the people. When people are in need, they step up, right? And they look after each other, and they care about each other. They care about their city. They don't want the mayor and city to screw it up, and they let us know, right? You know, and they care about it. And so it's the people. You know, I could list 1,000 things about it, but it's the people.
Yeah. So, speaking of stepping up, after 2 years of flooding in the Fredericton area, what are the next steps people can take to plan and educate themselves going forward?
All I can say is be prepared for it to be the same next year.
Yeah.
We hope it isn't, but if it happened 2 years in a row, there's a good chance it could happen again. We pray it won't, but be prepared. We have a great EMO team to look after people. If there's precautions you can take in your own property, do it. The city is really working with the federal government, the provincial government to come up with a mitigation plan, but that's a long-term plan. We have to raise some intersections, we have to do some berming, we have to put some valves and some pipes so it doesn't, you know, but we also, first thing to do is look after the infrastructure, the sewage treatment plants, the water pumps, all that stuff. But, and you know, there's a lot of people that are anxious. If you flooded 2 years in a row, a lot of people could use some counseling, and I mean that seriously. So don't be scared to reach out. A lot of people's mental health could be, can be challenged after having a flood 2 years in a row.
Absolutely,
so,
great point.
Don't hide it. Reach out if you can, but be prepared.
Yeah,
Just be,
absolutely. So today, what would you say your proudest moment as mayor would be?
Proudest moment?
Yeah.
Well, I guess when I was sworn in, and my mom was there. My dad had passed away, but my 92-year-old mom was there, and she was awful proud. That was a proud moment.
Yeah.
But the other one is just work on homelessness, and I've been very active in that file. And when I became mayor, I called the Mayor's Task Force on Homelessness for a way that the city could reach out and be a little more active. People don't understand that legislatively and fiscally, the cities are not supposed to be involved in social issues. That's the provincial. But we're trying to find out what the city can do. And we called this task force, and the group came together and came up with great ideas. And out of that, one real novel program came through where we're going to be building, not me, the community, but out of that came a program to build 40 microhomes across the city. The first 4 are under construction in Franklin North right now. This fall, we're hoping to get 7 more down. Those are going to be people taken right out of the shelter into a home with the wraparound support services to help them succeed.
Wow.
And that's a proud moment. The community's doing it, but I'm proud to say that it came out of something that I started, right?
Yeah.
And so that's how a city's supposed to work.
Also, real talk. What's the formal address for you? Like how do I what am I supposed to call you?
Look, the premier's called premier, prime minister's called prime minister, and the mayor's called your worship.
Your worship.
Isn't that terrible? Isn't that terrible? I mean, it stems back thousands of years ago. Mayors were more important than there was mayors before there was prime ministers, right? And so they had a big title. So I came into City Hall. Everybody's calling me your worship. I said, stop that, right? At formal council meetings, that's what happens.
Right.
Well, they said, we're not going to call you Mike, because we can't call you Mike because you're the mayor.
Yeah.
I said, how about Mayor Mike?
Mayor Mike.
That's what they call me.
Okay.
So most people in the city now, please call me Mike. But around City Hall, the staff call me Mayor Mike.
Gotcha.
It works good.
Gotcha. Yeah. So let's talk about Canada Day.
Yeah.
What's on the go in the capital city?
Well, on the Sunday night from supper time to sunset, there's music at Officer Square. Great bands playing, some top name bands from across the East Coast. A couple from Toronto coming down. Great. On the Canada Day itself, starting at about 10 in the morning, right through to 11 o'clock, music in Officer Square. Again, some real good East Coast bands coming in. Fireworks, big display off the bridge again.
Okay.
So they like that. But also something I'll be participating in at 10 o'clock at the Beaverbrook Art Gallery. Citizenship Ceremony. 35 new people, new Canadians are going to be sworn in as citizens. And I get to participate. Those are always exciting. They take if people can come down to see that, 10 o'clock at the Art Gallery, you're free to show up. It takes about half an hour. They swear their oath of allegiance to the Canadian Constitution, sing a song, and now they're sworn in as Canadians. It's a real tearjerker moment. Really.
Yeah.
So that's key. That's a fun one. Yeah.
I have one last question
Sure,
for you, and I'm serious about it.
Yeah.
South side or north side?
Okay, I'm the mayor, right? I'm the mayor of the entire city, but I grew up on the north side. And I lived on the north side. I came back to Fredericton after I was away, bought on the north side.
Yeah.
But last year we sold our house of 30 years and we moved to the south side.
Traitor!
So I sold my house. I'm in an apartment. My wife and I are in an apartment on the south side. Okay. So I get to enjoy the downtown even more. But my heart's in the north side. But as the mayor, you got to span both sides of the river.
Fair enough.
Yeah.
Well, your worship,
yeah.
Thank you so much.
Thank you. And it's Mike. Okay, cheers. Grimross beer is delicious.
It is.
Tune in next week for another Pints with the Pros with the Cyroid Group of Gardner Realty, Royal LePage.